Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Wealthy Good Life podcast. I'm so excited for today's deep dive
Oh, yeah.
because we're going to be tackling a topic that's close to my heart,
Okay.
and I know it's something that a lot of you are dreaming about too.
Mm-hmm.
Building a successful consulting business.
Right.
Let's be honest. Who wouldn't love the freedom, the flexibility,
Right.
and potentially like unlimited income that comes with being your own boss?
Oh, it's definitely alluring.
Yeah.
And you know what's so fascinating to me is that so many people already have the foundation for a thriving consulting practice without even realizing it.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Consulting is all about selling your expertise, right?
Right.
Your knowledge, your skills, your unique perspective.
Yeah.
And chances are you've already spent years developing those assets
Uh-huh.
in your current or previous roles.
You're right. It's not just about what you know. It's about what you've actually done.
Exactly.
It reminds me of a story I came across
Okay.
about a woman named Annie, a potter,
Mm-hmm.
who built a successful consulting business by leveraging her 25 years of experience running a pottery studio.
Oh, wow. Annie's story is a perfect example of what we're talking
Yeah.
about. She realized that her experience managing employees, scaling her studio, and even setting up an online store were all valuable skills that other pottery businesses were struggling with.
Right.
So she didn't just position herself as a pottery expert.
Right?
She marketed herself as a business expert for potters.
That's brilliant. She identified a specific niche and positioned herself as the go-to solution for a particular problem.
Exactly.
So it's not just about being good at something.
Mm.
It's about understanding how your experience can solve a specific problem for a specific group of people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And what's even more impressive is that Annie didn't just rest on her laurels.
Right?
She's constantly learning new techniques, taking online marketing courses, and expanding her skill set to stay ahead of the curve.
That's a crucial point, especially in the fast-paced world of consulting.
Right.
Investing in your own growth and development
Yes.
is essential for staying relevant and competitive. And, you know, it really ties into the whole wealthy good life philosophy,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It does.
It's about investing in yourself so you can create a life you love.
Absolutely. And once you've identified your niche
Yeah.
and honed your skills, the next step is to understand your competitive landscape.
Okay.
It's research time.
Research. Okay, so I'm picturing myself doing some light stalking of my competitors online.
Well, maybe not light stalking,
Okay.
but definitely some strategic investigation.
Okay.
You want to know who else is out there offering similar services,
Right.
how they're pricing their offering, what their marketing looks like, and what their clients are saying about them.
Oh, it's like getting a free masterclass
Exactly.
and what to do and what not to do.
Right. And don't forget about researching your potential clients.
Okay.
Who are they? What are their biggest challenges? Where do they hang out online? What are their goals and aspirations? The more you understand your target audience,
Yeah.
the better you'll be able to tailor your services and marketing messages
Right.
to resonate with them.
This reminds me of how Annie discovered that many pottery studios were struggling to balance their teaching schedules with their production time.
Wow.
By tapping into that pain point, she was able to position herself as an expert
Right.
in managing both revenue streams,
Yeah.
which made her incredibly attractive to potential clients.
And what's impressive is how Annie went about gathering that information.
Yeah? How'd she do it?
She interviewed other studio owners, explored online communities where potters were discussing their challenges,
Okay.
and even attended local meetups to get a real feel for what was going on in the industry.
These are all such practical and actionable strategies that anyone can use regardless of their niche.
Right.
It's about getting out there and engaging with your target market.
Speaking of engagement, let's talk about marketing.
Okay.
But before we dive into specific strategies, I want to emphasize that marketing for consultants is less about selling
Okay.
and more about serving.
I love that.
Yeah.
It aligns perfectly with the wealthy good life philosophy of creating value and building authentic connections.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about sharing your expertise in a way that genuinely helps people solve their problems. Think about it. You don't got valuable knowledge and skills.
Right.
Why not share them with the world
Yeah.
and get paid for it?
So if we're ditching the pushy sales tactics,
Right.
what does effective marketing look like for consultants?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Annie was able to successfully leverage her past employer as her first client.
Oh, wow.
There's a powerful marketing strategy that often gets overlooked,
Right.
tapping into your existing network.
Yeah.
Think past employers, colleagues, and industry contacts.
Okay.
People who already know you, trust you, and have seen your work firsthand.
You know, you're right. It seems so obvious, but I think a lot of people, myself included,
Yeah.
might be hesitant to reach out to those connections
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to seem pussy or opportunistic.
I understand the hesitation, but you have to remember, these people already know and respect your work.
Oh, that's true.
You're not coming out of nowhere.
Right.
Plus, they might be facing challenges that you're perfectly equipped to solve.
That's a great point. It's about reframing it as offering a valuable service
Yeah,
rather than asking for a favor.
exactly.
Yeah.
And research suggests that a significant number of consultants actually land their first client through a previous employer.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's low-hanging fruit
That's awesome.
that's often overlooked.
Okay, so we've tapped into our existing network.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other effective marketing strategies for consultants?
Referrals are gold.
Oh, yeah,
When someone you've worked with recommends you to their network, it carries a lot of weight.
absolutely. It's all about building those genuine connections and delivering exceptional value so that people are excited to recommend you to others.
Absolutely.
Right.
And don't underestimate the power of networking.
Okay.
Attending industry events, joining relevant online communities, and simply reaching out to people you admire
Yeah.
can open up amazing opportunities.
Before we dive deeper into the world of consulting, I want to take a moment to remind you to check out wealthygoodlife.com.
Yes.
We've got a ton of resources, articles, templates, even a community forum where you can connect with other ambitious entrepreneurs.
It's awesome.
It's like having a business mentor in your pocket.
Speaking of mentors, let's talk about the importance of having a strong why.
Okay.
You know, your driving force. Why do you want to be a consultant? What impact do you want to make? What are you passionate about?
That's such a powerful question.
It is.
It's about digging deep and identifying the core values and motivations that will fuel your journey.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Imagine you're facing a challenge in your business.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel discouraged and want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a strong why,
Right.
it can be the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
And keeps you going even when things get tough.
It's like that spark that ignites your passion and keeps you focused on the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a story about a consultant who was initially hesitant to market herself.
Okay.
She was afraid of putting herself out there and facing potential rejection.
Yeah.
But once she connected her why, spending more time with her children, to the action she needed to take,
Mm-hmm.
it gave her the courage to push through her fear and build a thriving business.
That's such a powerful example of how our why can drive our actions and help us overcome obstacles.
Absolutely. So before we move on to the nitty-gritty of setting up your consulting business,
Yeah.
I encourage you to take some time to reflect on your own why.
Okay.
What's driving you? What impact do you want to make?
Once you have that clarity, it can be incredibly motivating and empowering.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've talked about identifying your niche, honing your skills, researching your market, and crafting a compelling marketing strategy.
Okay.
But now it's time to lay the foundation for a sustainable and successful consulting business.
You mean like the nuts and bolts of running a business?
Exactly.
Things like accounting, legal stuff, and all those other details that make my head spin.
Exactly. And while it might not be the most glamorous part of being an entrepreneur,
Right.
it's absolutely crucial for protecting yourself and ensuring your long-term success.
Yeah.
Let's start with the legal side of things.
Okay, deep breaths. Legal stuff can be intimidating,
I know.
but I'm ready to dive in.
One of the first things you need to consider is choosing the right business structure.
Okay?
Are you going to operate as a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a partnership, or something else?
I've heard those terms thrown around, but I'm honestly not sure what the difference is. Does it really matter which one I choose?
It absolutely matters.
Okay.
Your business structure impacts your liability, your taxes, and even how you operate your business.
Right.
For example, a sole proprietorship is the simplest structure,
Okay.
but it doesn't offer any personal liability protection. That means if your business gets sued, your personal assets are at risk.
Ouch. That doesn't sound good. So an LLC would offer more protection.
And exactly, an LLC or limited liability company creates a legal separation between your business and your personal assets.
Right.
So if your business faces legal issues,
Yeah.
your personal belongings are generally protected.
Okay, that makes sense. Is an LLC the best choice for most consultants?
It's definitely a popular option,
Yeah.
but the best structure for you will depend on your specific circumstances. It's worth consulting with a legal professional to get personalized advice.
Right. Legal counsel check. What else do we need to consider from a legal standpoint?
Licenses and permits.
Okay.
Depending on your location and the type of consulting you do, you might need specific licenses or permits to operate legally.
Okay.
It's best to check with your local and state authorities to make sure you're in compliance.
So we've got our business structure figured out and our licenses in order. What's next on the legal checklist?
Contracts.
Okay.
Clear, well-written contracts are essential for protecting both you and your clients.
Right.
They outline everyone's responsibilities, payment terms, deadlines, and what happens if things don't go as planned.
It's like having a roadmap for the entire project, right? It sets clear expectations from the beginning and
Exactly.
helps avoid misunderstandings down the road.
Precisely, think of it as a safety net
Yeah.
that protects everyone involved. Plus, having solid contracts in place makes you look more professional and trustworthy to potential clients.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these legal details, while not the most exciting,
Right.
are really important for setting up a solid foundation for my consulting business.
Absolutely. And honestly, once you've got these legal foundations in place,
Uh-huh.
it's a huge weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
You can focus on what you do best, serving your clients and building that wealthy, good life.
Speaking of the wealthy good life, let's talk about finances. This is an area where I think a lot of creative entrepreneurs, myself included, can feel a bit intimidated.
I understand numbers can be scary, but managing your finances effectively is crucial for any business,
Hmm.
especially when you're first starting out.
So where do we even begin? What are the essential financial things we need to have in place?
First and foremost, you need a dedicated business bank account.
Okay,
This will help you keep your personal and business finances separate,
right.
which makes bookkeeping and tax preparation much easier.
That makes sense. Is it expensive to set up a business bank account?
Not at all.
Okay.
Most banks offer affordable business checking accounts,
Okay.
and some even have special offers for startups.
Okay, good to know. What about accounting software? I'm all about automating things as much as possible
Yeah,
so I can spend less time crunching numbers
sure.
and more time doing what I love.
I'm all about automation too.
Yeah.
There are some fantastic accounting software programs out there
Okay.
that can streamline your bookkeeping, invoicing, and expense tracking. Some popular options include Bench FreshBooks and Xero.
So these programs could basically handle all the tedious accounting tasks for me. Sign me up.
Well, they can certainly take a lot of the burden off your shoulders,
Yeah.
but it's still important to have a basic understanding of financial concepts like profit margins, cash flow, and taxes.
Okay. Those are some terms I need to brush up on.
Yeah.
Is there a good resource you recommend for learning the financial basics for small business owners?
There are tons of great resources available.
Okay.
The Small Business Administration, SBA, has some excellent guides and workshops.
Mm-hmm.
And there are countless books and online courses dedicated to small business finances.
Perfect. I'll definitely check those out. And I'm sure we'll have some helpful resources on wealthygoodlife.com as well, right?
Absolutely. We've got you covered.
This is all so helpful. I'm starting to feel more confident about the financial side of things already.
That's great to hear.
Yeah,
Remember, managing your finances doesn't have to be overwhelming.
right.
With the right tools and resources, you can create a system that works for you and frees up your time to focus on your passion.
Speaking of passion, let's circle back to that idea of having a strong why. We touched on it earlier.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth emphasizing again because it really is the heart of a successful and fulfilling entrepreneurial journey.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Your why is what will keep you going when you face challenges, setbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and those inevitable moments of doubt.
It's like an internal compass guiding you through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship.
Precisely. And it can be helpful to write down your why
Yeah.
and keep it somewhere visible on your desk, on your vision board,
Right?
or even as the wallpaper on your phone. That way you can remind yourself of it daily and stay connected to your purpose.
That's such a great idea. I'm a big believer in visual reminders.
It can be incredibly powerful. And, sometimes your why might evolve over time as you grow and your business changes. That's
Right.
perfectly normal. The important thing is to stay connected to your core values and motivations.
So we've laid the legal and financial groundwork, and we've tapped into the power of our why.
Right.
What's next on our journey to building a wealthy good life through consulting?
Let's talk about the tools and resources
Okay.
that will help you streamline your operations and make your life easier.
Ooh, I love a good toolkit.
Yes.
I'm all about maximizing efficiency and freeing up my time so I can focus on the work I love.
Me too. And thankfully, there are some amazing tools available to help consultants manage their projects, clients, and finances with ease.
Let's dive into some specific recommendations. What are your favorite tools for managing projects?
There are so many great options,
Yeah.
but a few popular project management platforms include Asana, Trello, and Monday.com.
Okay.
These tools allow you to create tasks, assign deadlines, collaborate with team members, and track progress all in one central location.
Okay, so those are for managing the project themselves. What about client relationship management?
Absolutely.
Is that something I need to worry about as a consultant?
Absolutely. A CRM system can be a game changer for managing your client relationships.
Okay.
It helps you keep track of all your client interactions, schedule appointments, send emails, and even manage your sales pipeline.
So it's like having a personal assistant for all things client-related.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And there are some fantastic CRM platforms out there specifically designed for small businesses and solopreneurs,
Right.
like HubSpot Pipedrive and Zoho CRM.
I'm definitely going to have to check those out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget about proposal writing software.
Oh, yeah.
This can be a huge time saver when you're pitching your services to potential clients. Some popular options include Proposify PandaDoc and Quiller.
Wow. I'm learning about so many new tools today. I could already see how these could streamline my workflow and make my life so much easier.
And that's the beauty of technology.
Yeah.
It can really empower you to work smarter, not harder.
Before we move on, I want to remind our listeners to visit wealthygoodlife.com.
Yes.
We've got a ton of resources, including articles, templates, and even a community forum where you can connect with other ambitious entrepreneurs.
That's awesome.
It's like having a business mentor in your pocket.
Now let's shift gears and talk about something that's often overlooked but incredibly important.
Okay.
The emotional side of being an entrepreneur.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What do you mean by the emotional side?
Well, starting and running your own business can be a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's exciting and rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
but it can also be challenging, stressful, and even lonely at times.
I've definitely heard that from other entrepreneurs. The highs are high, but the lows can be pretty low.
Exactly, and it's important to be prepared for the emotional ups and downs.
So how do we prepare for those emotional challenges? What are some strategies for staying grounded and resilient?
One of the most important things is to cultivate a strong support system.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you,
Mm-hmm.
and understand the challenges of entrepreneurship.
It's like having your own personal cheerleading squad, right? People who can lift you up when you're feeling down
Yes,
and celebrate your wins with you.
exactly. And don't be afraid to seek out mentors or join communities of like-minded entrepreneurs. Sharing your experiences, learning from others, and getting support from people who've been there
Mm-hmm.
can be invaluable.
That makes sense. It's easy to feel isolated when you're working for yourself.
Right.
So having that sense of community and connection can be a real game changer.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of self-care.
Okay.
Make time for the things that bring you joy, replenish your energy, and help you stay balanced.
So we're talking things like exercise, spending time in nature, pursuing creative hobbies, and connecting with loved ones.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you
Yeah.
and making self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine.
This is all so important. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of building a business
Right?
that we forget to take care of ourselves.
It's easy to fall into that trap, but remember, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself is essential for your well-being
Yeah.
and your business's success.
I love that analogy. It's a powerful reminder that we need to prioritize our own well-being in order to show up fully
Yes.
for our work and our lives.
And speaking of showing up fully, let's talk about one of the most rewarding aspects of being a consultant,
Okay.
the impact you can have on your clients.
Yes, this is something I get really excited about.
Yeah.
It's about using your skills and expertise to make a real difference in the world.
Think about it. You have the opportunity to help your clients solve their problems, achieve their goals,
Mhm.
and even transform their businesses.
That's incredibly fulfilling. It's about being a partner in their success.
Exactly. And the best part is that the more value you provide to your clients,
Yeah.
the more successful your business will be.
Yeah,
It's a win-win situation.
I love that. It's about creating a virtuous cycle of success and impact.
Precisely. And the impact you can have extends beyond your clients.
Okay.
As a successful consultant, you can become a thought leader in your industry, inspire others, and even contribute to positive change in the world.
That's such an inspiring thought. It's about leveraging your platform for good.
Absolutely. And, it all comes back to that idea of the wealthy good life.
Yeah.
It's not just about financial abundance. It's about creating a life of purpose, meaning, and impact.
Well said. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from the practicalities of setting up your business
Yeah.
to the emotional journey of entrepreneurship. I'm feeling so inspired and ready to take action.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't have to do it all alone.
Right. We've got a whole community of support at wealthygoodlife.com.
Absolutely.
Be sure to check it out to resources, tips, and connection.
Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll wrap up with some key takeaways and actionable steps to help you launch your consulting journey.
Welcome back to the Wealthy Good Life podcast. I can't believe we're already at the final part of our consulting deep dive.
It's been quite a journey. We've covered everything from identifying your niche and honing your skills to navigating the legal and financial aspects of running a business.
And let's not forget about the emotional side of entrepreneurship. We talked about the importance of having a strong why, building a supportive network, and prioritizing self-care. I feel like we've given our listeners a solid foundation for building a successful and fulfilling consulting practice.
I agree. And on this final part, I want to bring it all together and leave you with some key takeaways and actionable steps you can start implementing today.
Perfect. I'm all about actionable advice. Let's dive in. What's the first thing our listeners should focus on?
Remember that you are the product, your expertise, your experience, your unique perspective. That's what you're selling. So take some time to really reflect on your strengths, your accomplishments, and the value you bring to the table.
It's about identifying those skills and experiences that make you stand out from the crowd and showcasing them in a way that resonates with potential clients.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to niche down. The more specific you can be about the problems you solve and the people you serve, the easier it will be to attract your ideal clients.
That makes sense. It's about becoming the go-to expert in a particular area. So we've identified our niche and honed our skills. What's next?
Research understanding your competitors and potential clients is crucial for crafting a winning strategy. Check out what other consultants in your field are offering, how they're pricing their services, and what their marketing looks like. And most importantly, dive deep into understanding your target audience.
So we're talking about light stalking our competitors online, browsing their websites, their social media, their client testimonials, and really getting a feel for their brand and messaging.
It's like getting a free masterclass in what works and what doesn't. And on the client side, it's about identifying their pain points, their goals, their aspirations. Where do they hang out online? What are they struggling with? The more you understand their needs, the better you'll be able to position yourself as the solution.
And once you have a clear understanding of your target market, you can start crafting your marketing strategy. But remember, it's not about being pushy or salesy. It's about serving, not selling.
Focus on building genuine connections, showcasing your expertise, and providing value to your audience. Think about what Andy did. She didn't just blast out generic marketing messages. She targeted pottery studios that were struggling with a specific problem and offered herself as the solution.
She also leveraged her existing network. Remember, a significant percentage of consultants land their first client through a previous employer. It's a powerful strategy that's often overlooked.
Don't be afraid to reach out to your former colleagues, bosses, and industry contacts. They already know you and your work, and they might be facing challenges that you're perfectly equipped to solve.
All right, so we've got our research done, our marketing strategy in place, and our network activated. Now, how do we actually make some money? Let's talk pricing.
There are several approaches to consider. Hourly rates, project fees, retainers, each has its pros and cons, and you might find yourself using a combination depending on the client and the scope of work. But ultimately, you want to move towards pricing based on the value you deliver, not just the time you spend.
I've heard that hourly billing can be a bit of a trap. It can limit your earning potential and create a situation where you're essentially penalized for being efficient.
Exactly. When you price based on value, you're focusing on the results you deliver for your clients, not just the hours you clock. It's a more sustainable and scalable way to build a profitable consulting business.
And it aligns with a wealthy good life philosophy, right? It's about creating a business that gives you the freedom and flexibility to design a life you love.
Absolutely. And speaking of freedom, let's revisit the importance of having a strong why. Your why is your guiding star. It's what will keep you motivated and inspired when you face challenges and setbacks.
It's that deeper purpose that fuels your passion and helps you stay focused on the bigger picture.
Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible. Refer to it often and let it guide your decisions and actions. And remember, it's okay for your why to evolve over time as you grow and your business changes. The important thing is to stay connected to your core values and motivations.
So we've covered the importance of identifying our niche, honing our skills, researching our market, crafting a compelling marketing strategy, setting clear pricing, and connecting to our why. What else do our listeners need to know to set themselves up for success?
Let's talk about the essential tools and resources that can help you streamline your operations and make your life easier. We've already touched on some of these, but it's worth reiterating their importance. A dedicated business bank account is crucial for keeping your finances organized. Accounting software can automate a lot of the tedious bookkeeping tasks. Project management platforms can help you stay on top of deadlines and collaborate with clients. CRM systems can help you manage your client relationships with ease. And proposal writing software can save you hours of time when you're pitching your services.
These tools are investments that can pay off big time in the long run. They can save you time, reduce stress, and free up your energy to focus on the work you love.
And don't forget about the non-tech essentials. Insurance is a must-have to protect yourself and your business. And if numbers aren't your thing, consider hiring a bookkeeper or accountant to help you manage your finances. Remember, you don't have to do everything yourself. It's okay to ask for help.
And speaking of help, don't forget about our amazing community at wealthygoodlife.com. We've got a ton of resources, including articles, templates, and a forum where you can connect with other ambitious entrepreneurs. It's like having a business mentor in your pocket.
We're here to support you every step of the way. And remember, building a successful consulting business is about more than just the money. It's about creating a life of freedom, purpose, and impact.
It's about living that wealthy good life on your own terms.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of consulting. We hope you found it valuable and inspiring.
Be sure to check out wealthygoodlife.com for even more resources and support. And remember, you have everything you need to build a thriving and fulfilling consulting practice. We believe in you.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
And that concludes this episode of the Wealthy Good Life podcast. Thanks for listening, a CTEIA.